Hello and welcome to my masterclass on fussy eaters. Well, taking the stress out of fussy eaters, lesson 1. Now, many children are fussy eaters because fussy eating is normal, but it can be hard to handle. Most of the time, fussy eating isn't actually about food. It's about children wanting to be independent. It's also normal for children to like something one day but dislike it the next, and to refuse new foods and to eat more or less from day to day. This all happens because fussy eating is part of your child's development. It's a way for children to explore their environment and to begin asserting their independence, which is something to be celebrated really, and enjoyed, not seen as a bad thing. If you reframe your view of why your child is being a fussy or a faddy or a fickle or whatever you'd like to call it eater, it will help you to relax around mealtime and food, which is only a good thing. The good news is that children are likely to get less fussy as they get older. And one day, not too far in the future, let's hope, your child will probably eat and enjoy a whole host and wide range of different foods. So the secret here for me is for you to relax. Now, if your child is healthy and has enough energy to play and to learn and to explore, then they're probably eating enough. But if your child eats only a very small range of foods, or won't eat entire food groups for a long time, then I suggest that you go and have a chat to your GP to get some professional advice. But here are some of my ideas and facts that might help you if you find that you do have a fussy eater in the family. Well, as I've said, fussy eating and having a fussy eater is normal for many children. Lots of them go through this phase because they don't like the shape or the colour or the texture of particular foods. It's also normal for children to like something one day but dislike it the next, to refuse new food sometimes and to eat more or less from day to day, a bit like ourselves really. Now, this all happens because fussy eating is part of all children's development. It's a way of exploring their environment and asserting their independence. And it's also because their appetites do, of course, go up and down depending on how much they are growing and how active they are. So let's look at how to handle fussy eaters. Well, one of the things is to make mealtimes pleasant and enjoyable. Often it becomes a tug of war because your child's willingness to try food will depend partly on the eating environment that you create. So if you create a pleasant, low-stress mealtime, that can really help. So work on the atmosphere that you're creating around mealtime first. So here are some topics to think about. Notice, where do we eat? What time do we eat? Is my child hungry, overtired, ready for a nap, just had a snack? Am I tense? Do we all eat as a family? Do I pile on too much food? Do I allow my child to have plenty of time to eat at their rather slow pace? Do I allow my child to lick or smell or touch or explore the food that I serve them? Do I turn off the TV and not allow devices at the table? Do I put away distractions like toys before eating? Do I make mealtimes enjoyable and relaxed? Do I offer small portions of new food alongside old favourites? Do I invite friends over to eat with us and help my child see what other people like to eat? Do I make sure my child doesn't have too many snacks between meals? Have I set a time limit of around about 20 to 30 minutes for meals? So there's some ideas to think about. Here are now my top tips. As I've said, make mealtimes happy, regular and social occasions. Try not to worry about spilled drinks or food on the floor or how they're holding their knife and fork all the time. Have realistic expectations for the age of your child. For example, you can start by asking your child perhaps to lick a piece of food and to work up to trying a mouthful or a spoonful over time. And don't forget to praise your child for any small effort to try a new food. Never force your little one to try anything. They'll have lots of other opportunities to try new foods over time. So keep the bigger picture and imagine when they're 25. If your child is fussing about food, ignore it as much as you can, because giving fussy eating lots of attention can sometimes encourage children to keep behaving that way because they like you to notice them. Try and make healthy foods fun. For example, cut sandwiches into interesting shapes, or let your child help prepare a salad, or whisk eggs, for example, perhaps for an omelette. Always turn the TV off so your family members can talk to each other instead, and don't get into the habit of offering a device at meal times. It's such a bad habit. There's loads of studies that suggest that can lead to obesity. Set a time limit of about 20 to 30 minutes for meals, and anything that goes on too long isn't fun. And if your child hasn't eaten the food in this time, take it away and don't offer your child more food until the next planned meal or snack time. Sometimes toddlers are too distracted to sit at the family table for a meal. Now, if this sounds like your child, try having quiet time before meals so they can calm down before eating. Even that ritual of hand washing can actually help. Of course, offer a wide variety of nutritious foods from the 5 food groups at each family meal, and go for variety yourself. Show your child that you're willing to try new foods and that you enjoy them too. Healthy family food and an eating environment that encourages a positive attitude to healthy food really can make a great start for your child. I want you to think about giving your fussy eater independence with food, because it can be a good idea to support your child's need for independence when it comes to meals. Now, of course, it's up to you to provide healthy food options for them, but it's up to your child to decide how much they'll eat. I know that's hard to let go of worrying, but children really do know how to regulate their hunger. And this is actually setting them up for a healthier life choice later on, because they'll notice when they're full, not when you tell them that they're full. Now, this cuts down on obesity later on and overeating. There's loads of research to back that up. And you could also try letting your child make a choice within a range of healthy foods. So I always recommend just limiting options. Don't have too many, it can overwhelm a small child. But limit to 2 or maybe 3 things so that your child doesn't get too confused or overwhelmed around what they're going to choose to eat. So, for example, instead of asking your child to pick what they want from the fridge, you could ask, would you like grapes or carrot sticks? It's implied they're eating a healthy option, but they feel in control over which one. So that will cut down on tantrums. It will build your child's self-esteem, and it will keep your relationship happy and relaxed, all around food and generally speaking. Now, another top tip, and a simple one, is to get your child involved in preparing family meals. So, for example, your child could help out with shopping for food with you. Looking for the bananas, finding the broccoli, putting the apples in the trolley, all that sort of thing. You could even get them to write and help you plan what you're going to go and buy in the shops. They can tell you and chat with you. You could be talking and teaching them all about healthy foods and balancing treats with regular food groups. So picking a recipe and cooking it with you, they could help you chop and stir and spoon. It's a great thing. They love doing that. They could help you wash the fruit, help you wash the vegetables. They could help you mix or toss a salad. And they'll feel proud of helping and be more likely to eat something that they've helped to make or shop or chop or buy. Sometimes your child will refuse food just because it gets an interesting reaction from you. And if children refuse to eat a food, it doesn't necessarily mean that they dislike it. After all, they might not have even tasted it yet, so don't panic, relax. They might just be putting on a show of independence to see what you'll do. So if that happens, try to stay calm. I hope that's given you food for thought. Sorry about the pun, couldn't help it. Look out for lesson 2 when I go into more detail around topics and tips around fussy eating. Until next time, see you soon.